recently, Mr. Beast has come into a lot of scrutiny. And it's not for anything actually bad, like some of the other YouTubers in the past, like PewDiePie and people like that. Mr. Beast is actually one of the few YouTubers that gives away a lot of money to help people and causes across the world. He's the only YouTuber that I really know that does it at the level that he does. He's extremely talented. He's extremely hardworking. He has a studio worth $10 million. And the guy is probably going to be the first YouTube billionaire, right? And recently he did something in South Africa that was quite amazing. He gave 20,000 pairs of shoes out to kids who didn't have any shoes, okay? And it sparked reactions from certain people in the YouTube communities. And I want to play a certain clip of that from this one YouTuber, I think it's like his name is Phil. Let me come back and play that.
Starting with this controversy and massive growing backlash against YouTuber and entrepreneur Mr. Beast, following him putting out a video where he donated 20,000 pairs of shoes to kids in South Africa, with Jimmy at one point in the video even saying these were their first ever pair of shoes. And while many people's reaction to this was, wow, stuff like this, it restores my faith in humanity, we're seeing good being done in the world, you also had a big growing group of people questioning the philanthropy behind all this, saying things like this isn't really charity, saying he's using needy people as props to make himself look like the good guy, tweets going viral saying, let me know when y'all catch up and realize how weird this motherfucker is. But in general, those criticizing Mr. Beast and the content, right, they were talking about the nature and incentives of charity content, right, with a number of those people arguing there are plenty of wealthy people who do public acts of service, but quote, don't frame that work as weird voyeuristic stunts. And others adding, so weird that 20,000 children need to rely on a rich white man from the West to have their basic needs met and get their faces plastered on the internet so he can earn clout. But to that, you had others who support the content saying, no, he's making this content not only to inspire others to do the same, but also by making that content, he's able to foot the bill. With Mr. Beast even responding to one of his critics, saying, no hate, you probably just haven't seen this channel, but actually it is a charity, and I obviously don't profit from it. 100% of all revenue from Beast philanthropy goes towards running my food banks and helping ease human suffering, and since inception, I've personally put in millions into Beast philanthropy. That's the whole point. Make content around helping people to generate more money to help more. So
that's from Philip DeFranco, right? Philip DeFranco, again, is a great YouTuber. Has been a great YouTuber for many years. He's awesome. But now Abba and Preach also have weighed in on it, especially Abba, because again, you have those people, especially in the black world. That's what I'm really dealing with, right? In the black world, we have these people who are always criticizing white people or anybody for doing things for blacks, right? They're trying to say, oh, you're just using these people, you're using that, and you're doing stuff like that, right? I want to play Abba and Preach's response, and then I'm going to come back.
This is so similar to the last thing. Somebody said that, imagine a rich white man having to go there. And why aren't the South Africans providing for these young people? Why aren't our governments providing people the ability to see again with a cheap eye surgery? There's gaps in the world. There's holes in places. And there are people like Mr. Beast who are willing to go and help those people. And I think it's so fascinating that it's never the people that are helped that are complaining. It's everyone else. It's the people who generally have no history or no track record of volunteerism or any kind of philanthropy themselves. They want to sit there from their little Twitter accounts and say all kinds of crazy stuff. But I ask, what kind of engagement have you been involved in, even on a small level that's accessible to you? And generally the answer is very little. And I think this is probably one of the things I hate the most about leftists in particular, is that they always cry about systemic change and systemic this, not realizing that they have agency in their own lives to affect change on a community and local level. And what they do is, instead of actually making any effort to make tangible changes, they just sit there and twiddle their thumbs on Twitter. You know, say what you want about right-wing people, but I actually see religious folks taking missionary trips to go help people. Even if I don't agree with those all the time, at least they put in boots on the ground or taking their time out of their year to go and try to help people in a tangible way. They run the stuff in their local communities to help people in a tangible way. It's very rarely the left-leaning people. All they want to do is protest and cry about systemic issues. You know, and you can sit there and be like, why is the white man? Why don't you ask yourself, why isn't the black government providing that to those kids over there in South Africa? Because let me tell you, a lot of issues with South African government exist today. And it ain't white people running that country. So I just think it's interesting that the people who are helped are never the ones complaining. It's always the people on the outside who don't even do 1/3 of the work. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna go and be like, oh, it's not like, especially in South Africa, it's like black people running this country, because South Africa has a history of systemic whatever, and white people setting them back, whatever. I'm not gonna go into that. But anyways, I'm not gonna be whatever.
But you can't bring it up. You can't bring it up and say I'm not gonna go with that. You brought it up, so you did. You can't say I'm not gonna mention this counterpoint and then not go into it.
No, I said I'm not, and I choose not to.
Okay, well then I will counter that by saying you can say that, but their government is entirely black, and even though there is a history of apartheid that has affected the country, there is no doubt that there is a tremendous amount of corruption by black individuals. So you can't be mentioning the white part.
See, exactly.
No, because here's why I did that. Because you said it and just try to walk away from it.
Because it was the reason why I didn't go into depth to that, is that you didn't go into depth to that. What you just did right now was explain why. When you first mentioned it, you just mentioned it like that. It's like, it's not all that. There's more information to add to that. So that's why I'm not going to go into that, because you didn't say everything. Now you did. Yes, okay, you take in consideration that, yes, there is systemic issues that happened with the government in the past that put them in this place. And now you put a context around that. So now we could go into that, but you just did. You know what I mean? But I was not about to touch that because you didn't explain it fully. And now me saying that triggered you into explaining everything in a context into that. Because just saying that, oh, well, you know what? It's black people running the country and they should do something about it, and then running off of that doesn't explain the whole context about that. If you put in what's the word? If you put in the corruption and if you put in all the issues that there is and how it's set up, then it makes more sense. That's why I didn't want to go there, because it was not all said. But it's not even part of the conversation also. It's not the whole thing about the conversation.
No, but people are trying to frame it as a white man from the West coming into and the reason why I said that is like, it's not white folks who are right now for black folks in a lot of Africa. That's a lot of our own people.
So you know what? I want to talk about this. This is very important to me, right? When it comes to Abba. Abba's Ethiopian. Brother Preach is from Haiti, okay? And I want to say this with all respect to these brothers. Of course, we know about the white destabilization of Haiti, for sure, and Ethiopia. But we almost have to discuss corrupt governments in black countries. And a part of the reason why they're there in Canada is because of the corruption in their own home countries. And Abba makes a valiant point in talking about the fact that most people in the black world who criticize people like Mr. Beast for doing that won't do anything themselves, okay? And for a person that lives in Africa, I do what I can in Africa. Obviously, I don't, show things that I do, try to do. But those are the people who won't lift a finger or do a dollar or give a dollar to do anything. And governments, especially people in the elites, what are they doing? They're stealing the money. What are they doing? They are lying. What are they doing? Nothing. But here you are, you won't do nothing, but you're mad at somebody else who will do something. And the reasons why you have people that come out like Mr. Beast and embarrass the governments like that, because you won't do it. Because your family got to be taken care of, right? You want them to have money, but you don't care nothing about the people. I get those comments all the time, even on my channel. I get these people talking about, you're not really African American, or some pile on the other side, you hate Africans, or you hate women. And now those people that say those things, none of them do anything for the respective communities they're talking about. For the people who say that I'm not African American, which is a lie, right? It's a complete lie. You won't even support the black business in your community, brother. You haven't spent not $1. Those folks who say you hate Africans haven't done nothing in Africa. You hate women, won't even employ one woman or give anything to women's group to do nothing. But for the people that do stuff, y'all are the biggest mouths. And this is why nobody takes y'all serious. And Mr. Beast, the reason why he's doing that, because they won't do it. You think South Africans, governments don't have money? They're one of the most corrupt governments in the world. But they steal from their people. So then when a white person come, whoever else come and bring it there, all of a sudden you mad. When you won't, and the person commenting won't even donate $1. And Abba is exactly right. Nobody takes those people serious. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.